And from that moment on, I was a girl in this young man's mind. The question had been asked, and it had been answered. That was that. There was no need to spend any more time trying to figure out what it all meant, or if it was right or wrong, because it just was. This is Stephanie Mott's closing remarks in her 2013 Huffington Post article titled, "Are You a Boy?" Stephanie was asked this question while she was going through one of her transition phases, and at first wasn't sure how to answer the question. After all, her biological features showed that she was a man, but her inner emotions and her outer appearance contradicted her biological label. She then decided to ask this young boy whether he thought that she was a man or a woman. He responded with, "Of course you're a girl. You're wearing a necklace and you're carrying a purse." So from this moment on, Stephanie was a girl. There's no way to determine how many transgender individuals exist in the United States, but according to a 2015 article by Claire Miller in the New York Times, 135,365 people changed their names and their gender to the opposite sex in the Social Security Administration. This isn't even including the people who are too scared and not confident enough to come out about who they believe they truly are. Also, 71% of transgender individuals who participated in a study conducted by the National Center for Transgender Equality and National Gay and Lesbian Task Force claim to hide their gender transition or the gender that they claim to be from others from fear of discrimination. Transgender individuals suffer from discrimination no matter where they go, and this is also spreading into restrooms. Transgenders are not limited to age, sex, or location, and they even exist on Ball State and campuses around the world. Ball State University does not have any gender-neutral restrooms. It makes these individuals feel uncomfortable being forced to go to a restroom that they don't identify themselves with. In order to address this issue, I will first look at the problem caused by not having gender-neutral restrooms in public areas and colleges. I will then discuss the causes of this problem, and we will look at the solutions in order to resolve the problem. 5 decades ago, Jim Crow laws segregated whites and blacks. This is now a law that does no longer exist because segregating these people was wrong, and it was cruel and immoral. So how are segregating transgender individuals from other people any different than these Jim Crow laws? Transgender people are discriminated no matter where they go. As noted in a 2013 Huffington Post article by Dr. Joe Wink entitled, "That's a Man," she notes that despite all gains, including marriage equality, the hatred and bigotry persists. It is dangerous for transgendered individuals and gay men to walk among the streets. It is dangerous for a man to wear a pink skirt and pink shoes. It is dangerous for a transgender woman to be beautiful. Discrimination has now transitioned into restrooms as well. In a 2015 CNN article, Emanuela Grinberg writes about the story of a girl named Leela Perry. Leela Perry is a 17-year-old transgender girl who lives in Michigan. She began her school year going to the gym class as any other student would, but she went into the girls' locker room as she felt she needed to. At the age of 13, Leela began identifying herself as a female. She began wearing skirts, styled wigs, and makeup to school, so it felt right to her to use the women's locker room when she went to gym class. The result of this was that her students, with support from their parents, participated in a walkout until Leela was either kicked out of her gym class or was forced to use the male locker room. Now that we have identified discrimination as a problem resulting from not having gender-neutral restrooms, we will look at the causes of why this problem exists. The number one cause is that people simply don't understand the mind frame or the process that a transgender individual goes through while they're dealing with their change. A Southern Baptist minister tells Joe Wink in her 2015 Huffington Post article entitled "Bathroom Bigotry and the Battle for Trans Rights" that if he knew that one day he could wake up and say that he felt like being a girl that day so that he could share the showers with girls in the girls' locker room, that he could find his feminine side for the occasion. People like this Baptist minister don't understand what goes on truly in the minds of a transgender when they are going through their transformation. I, on the other hand, am very intrigued with the process. I have seen multiple TLC documentaries about young children who are going through this change. One mother notes that when her son was 3 years old, she found him in the bathroom staring at his private area with clippers in hand, debating whether he should cut it off. Now, do you really think that this 3-year-old kid woke up that day and was like, I want to be a girl? That thought has been in his mind for probably a while now, and he hates who he truly is. Every documentary that I have watched has shown that generally kids who decide to change genders do it before puberty. And once they do hit this stage of puberty, they fear becoming a more mature version of themselves that they already hate. The second cause of this problem of discrimination is the uprising of bathroom bills. These bills have been initiated in Arizona, Michigan, Maryland, Kentucky, and Florida by social conservatives. The bill states that people are required to use the restroom that matches the gender on their birth certificate. Katie Steinmetz notes in her 2015 Time article that social conservatives believe that opening the doors of women's restrooms will bring in pervs and sexual predators. There has been no notable cases of places who have done this having any issues with any social or sexual predators or pervs. Now that we know the causes of the problem, which is simply being ignorant to the process of a transgender individual and these bathroom bills, we will look at the ways to get rid of the issue. The first thing is to simply get rid of the bills. Why have bills forcing people who don't associate with a certain gender to use the restroom that they feel uncomfortable with? Instead, we should fight for a bill to make all public areas with women and male restrooms to also have a gender-neutral restroom. The second cause is to spread the word about an app I learned about while reading a 2015 Huffington Post article by James Michael Nichols. This app is called Refugee. Anyone who downloads the app can find gender-neutral restrooms nearest to them based on their location. This app was initially formed approximately a year ago by the team called the Refugee Restrooms, and it was initially a website. It has now been transformed into an app so that people can use it more easily, and it is more effective as everyone does have smartphones and iPhones currently. Transgender individuals should have the same restroom rights that any other individual has. Why should they be forced to go to a place where they feel uncomfortable and insecure for fear of being harassed or bullied? We should support these people by spreading the word about this app so that they can currently use it to feel more comfortable and know where the restrooms are that they can use and feel safe. We also should support them by advocating through word of mouth and by social media the fact that we need to have gender-neutral restrooms in all public areas with the other restrooms and even universities. Stand with me to change the questions that transgenders hear on a regular basis from "Are you a boy or a girl?" to "How was your day?" Stand with me to change the statements that these people hear from "You're a man" to "You look beautiful today." Stand with me to make a change.